And we're back. This is the last week of July. Tomorrow is the last day of July. It's the 31st.
Well, yeah. But they're probably watching this
Today
on the 31st.
is the 31st of July. Tomorrow is August. And we're just one step closer to my birthday, which it's just something that I care about. Mara cares about my birthday. Because that means there's going to be cake around. Not calling you a cake eater.
Anna said she might do a Spider-Woman cake.
Yeah.
For the, book club.
She was like, she asked me.
Spider-Woman cake?
How awesome would that be?
It's my birthday, first of all. But so it's my Spider-Woman cake.
Oh, no, she said she's not going to make it if you're going to eat the whole thing.
I won't eat the whole thing, but I'm certainly going to eat
She's probably not going to make it either.
Spider-Woman's head. But she was like, you don't mind if it's a Spider-Woman cake? And I was like, no.
Yeah,
like,
why?
I don't care. And I said, just make sure it's not made of real spiders. And then
Wah, wah.
wah, wah.
For those of you watching, you do need to read something with Spider-Woman in it. She's an amazing character. Bendis has written her well. She's been appearing in the Captain Marvel series in and out in Avengers Assemble.
And those in Conway, Arkansas that are interested, yeah. That is our new book club.
The Spider-Woman by Michael Bendis.
Not
and
Spider-Woman
Alex
Origins. Not Spider-Woman Origins, though.
It's
Spider-Woman 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Has a nice, if you want extra credit, it's got a motion comic that's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you should definitely come by. It's going to be on August the 8th. Probably here. Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to say here because that's what we put on the flyer.
So, if you're interested, you should definitely come by. We'll talk about Spider-Woman, and there might be cake featuring the Spider-Woman.
I wouldn't hold my breath, though.
Yeah, to know her is to fear her, and to eat this cake is to be satisfied. Remember that was her tagline. To know her is to fear her. Spider-Woman. Remember when she used to wear that, like, she used to not have the hair unfurled.
Right.
She used to wear, like, the swimmer's
hood.
cap. Yeah, they look stupid, though.
It's far more practical.
Well,
yeah,
sure.
but now she's pretty.
Let's talk about comics.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about. But this is a pretty good week. I'm sorry we didn't have a video last week. We did record one, but
Oh, did you never even put it up?
I never put it up because what happened was the power shut off the morning that I usually put it up, and by the time I could put it up, people had already had their comics, or they should have had their comics, and I just didn't see the point in it. But we're back, and we're also back from San Diego. We had a great time. So let's talk about some comics, and let's talk about some second tier and third tier publishers. I'm trying to find a nice way of saying
You
that.
just say smaller publishers
Or independent publishers.
or independent.
But IDW's not independent, is it?
I mean, I guess it depends on definition. I generally think independent's not Marvel or DC.
What does the IDW stand for?
I mean, didn't we have this conversation once?
I don't think I like to think I would remember
I want to
this.
say the D is dream, but I'm not sure.
I don't
Don't quote me on that.
Independent
And I think
Dream.
the W is works,
Could be, I don't know.
but don't quote
In the works? No, that's stupid.
Anyway, we don't have a lot in the store from the smaller publishers this week. We do have Angel and Faith, part 4 of the What You Want, Not What You Need series. Oh,
Second to last issue of season 9. And we don't know what they're going to come back with for season 10. They're definitely doing season 10 for Buffy. I don't know if they'll do Angel and Faith or not, though. Which is too bad, because it's awesome.
yeah, is this the first season for Angel and Faith, or did it start at the same time as the Buffy?
No, this season 9 is the first time they did
Okay.
Angel and Faith.
Okay, so be sure to, if you're a Buffy fan, check that out. This week, there is the Ghost trade paperback coming out, and if you're a fan of anything by Kelly Sue DeConnick, I think you're going to like this.
Whoever's a fan of Phil Noto.
You're going to like this.
Or a
It's-
fan of Ghost from the 90s.
And even if you don't know Ghost from the 90s, you'll still enjoy it. So it's just a great, I haven't read all of it, but I did skim through this one and read a couple of the first pages from the first issue, and it is really good.
And that's Dark Horse.
Yeah, Dark Horse.
Awesome. Very
And
cool.
I believe that she is signed on to keep doing this. It's
Yes, I
ongoing.
think in October, November, somewhere around there, they're going to start an ongoing.
Yeah, so you can get this trade here.
I don't
And
think
then
Phil
get-
Noto is going to be the artist, but
Yeah.
You'll
Should be
still
fun.
get somebody good.
yeah.
But you can get this trade and get all caught up and ready for it to continue going on.
I love Kelly Sue DeConnick's writing. I really do. But she's got kind of confusing schedules on her books. Like, that's not going to be a monthly. It's just going to be whenever it comes out kind of comic, isn't it? Or
I
is
don't
it
think Ghost is going to be a monthly since it's coming from Dark Horse.
But like Avengers Assemble, like I want to say that's her comic, but at the same time,
It comes out regularly.
it comes out regularly. It comes out every month, but not every month is it Kelly Sue DeConnick writing.
Well, the only time it changed was the Age of Ultron.
But I think I saw some of those solicits that she wasn't going to do another issue.
That's the same with any comic from the big two. People come in and out.
Well, I understand that, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I looked at it in the new previews.
And then I definitely don't want to knock it. The only complaint maybe is I want more Kelly Sue DeConnick writing.
Pretty Deadly.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a thing. There we
If you
go.
want more Kelly Sue, pick up Ghosts and Pretty Deadly.
Wow, she's running for Dark Horse, Image, and
Marvel.
Not bad. Well, over at DC, moving over to the first tier, or larger publisher, or whatever we want to call them, we have some pretty cool books. Now this is weird because of the numbering. It says Batman #1 Director's Cut. It's not. It's Batman 21.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that it said
that's
#1.
bizarre, isn't it?
That is weird. Did they not do a director's cut for #1? I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe DC is gonna have a line of director's cuts, and I don't know why they would do that, but it's a director's cut of the first year of Year Zero, and what that means in comic books when it's a director's cut, it's usually the artist, his pencils or his inks or however he works. In this case, it's that issue 21, the first issue of Year Zero, and it includes the script that Snyder sent to Capullo. And when I was at San Diego, we went to the Batman panel, and that's cool. We went to the Batman panel, and Snyder said, like, hey, this is going to come out in the next couple of weeks, and he's kind of hesitant about coming out because, you know, as a writer, he's so confident with things that he, like, publishes, that, like, anything that he considers this is just an email between me and Greg, like, that's something that's kind of sensitive. I don't want to say, like, oh, they took it from him. They didn't. I mean, obviously they had to have his okay on this, but it's something so raw, and for someone that's such a good writer, I'm interested in reading his rough drafts, and maybe you are too, and if you are, you can pick it up. But heads up, it's a little bit more of a price. It's $6 for that issue, which that is $2 more than a normal Batman issue.
By the way, they're calling it Batman 0 Year #1 Director's Cut instead of Batman 21.
Good lord, that is confusing. So
no, I mean, it says 0 Year real big on the cover.
right, but 0, what? Whoa.
But that's why it's #1, not 21.
But crazy. But heads up, those that are picking up their DC comics, it's annual week. Is it a fifth Wednesday in July?
Wednesday.
So that's going to happen. You're going to have your annuals come out for DC. Are they Marvel annuals?
No, Marvel just published like normal. They put their annuals out whenever they feel when it fits using the story. Like Hawkeye fit into the story at that point.
Yeah. I will say this about these DC's annuals. DC's annuals a little bit different than Marvel annuals. Sometimes with Marvel annuals, they'll have a different creative team do the annual.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But DC's like that too.
Yeah.
These particular ones we're looking at are not. Like
Are not.
But sometimes they do.
Batman Annual 2. Remember the first annual was the Mr. Freeze issue, which I really dug. They totally redid Mr. Freeze's origin, but I was okay with it. Mr. Freeze wasn't one of those characters that I was a purist about. But this is not Greg Capullo. It is Marguerite Bennett.
No, that's the co-writer. Wes Craig is the artist.
Okay, so can you tell me about Wes Craig?
He did some Wildstorm stuff. He's getting ready to do a book with Fraction? He's doing one of the Image books.
Oh, cool. No, Wes Craig is doing the thing with Remender.
Yes, that's right, yes.
That's where I know that name from.
I liked him. He did some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff when Advent and Landing were doing it. I like his art quite a bit.
Okay, so it should be pretty good, but it heads up. $1 more on the price tag, and I mean, if it's something like the next issue that I'm going to talk about, Flash, it's going to be $2 more. But hey, if you like the series, it may not. I mean, you get more story for it.
There's more pages.
Yeah, so you're not getting totally, ripped off here. I don't know. I don't follow Flash. I can't. I'm judging off the cover. I'm sorry about that. But if this is what's happening in the book, it looks like Flash is helping out Hal Jordan, and Flash gets to put on a Green Lantern ring. But that may not happen in the comic.
Yeah, I believe the idea is it's the first story with Hal and Barry.
Okay, well then that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you're a Flash fan or a Green Lantern fan, you may want to pick this up. Animal
Of course,
Man,
that's New 52, of course.
right. Animal Man, we get. I don't know who the Spider Queen is, and I think that since this is an annual, this is going to be something totally different from the current story. Not meaning, like this takes place in a different time. It might. I don't know. I don't know what the Spider Queen is. I don't know what this is about. But the cool thing about this issue is if you see the artists on it. And I don't think Travel Foreman has been back with Jeff Lemire on Animal Man since before issue 10 of the series, and it's been a while, and it'd be really cool. It's going to be really cool to see those two back together. I'm really excited about that. Over at Vertigo, which we always lump in with DC, we got the next issue of the Deep Dark, The Wake. So if y'all have been enjoying that, well, there's the next chapter. This is issue 3 of 10, and last. And I saved this for last because this really is the last. This is the last Grant Morrison, very epic in scope Batman story. I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast. He was talking to Dan DiDio, and they were talking very briefly about the Grant Morrison run. And, DiDio says he hasn't deviated much from this story. This story has been planned out for 7 years, 6 years, 7 years.
I know that he said in that they knew he was going to kill Damian.
Yeah, so this is the last chapter of Morrison's run, and I've skimmed it. Some big stuff's in it. If you've been picking it up, there's no way that you're going to be like, I don't want to pick up that last issue. You're going to be picking it up. I cannot recommend this to anyone that's like, I just want to pick up Batman Incorporated. I don't think you'll enjoy this one. But there's some big stuff in it, and it looks like it's going to be quite the finale. So it's very exciting stuff.
Yeah, and that's his last in-continuity stuff. For now on, he's going to do Multiversity and just do miniseries and stuff. He's not going to do a series like that. I mean, who knows how long that is. But for the foreseeable future, he's not going to do
take a break.
He's not going to do a mainstream in-continuity comic book.
Wow.
DC. He's going to do other DC stuff, but not like I said, just a normal issue of Batman.
And this is a guy who's been doing in-continuity stuff since the 80s for DC.
Off
and on, but yeah. But
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure he probably said that after JLA too. So.
Right. So yeah, but this is. I mean, if you've been following this is the moment you've all been waiting for or been dreading. I don't know. I know some people don't really like the turns that have been going on with that. But that's it from DC this week. What about from the boys and gals at Marvel?
All right. Speaking of finales, Captain Marvel comes out. This is the end of the Enemy Within crossover with Avengers Assemble, so it should be pretty exciting. See, will Captain Marvel get her powers back? Will she be able to fly some more? All that fun stuff. And then another girly comic book, Fearless Defenders, but it transcends girliness. It's pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
The interesting thing about this one is Will Sliney, the normal artist, is not doing it. It's Stephanie Hans, who did the covers for Journey to Mystery when Kieran Gillen was writing it. And I don't know if you ever remember those covers, but they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's how every page of this comic book looks.
Really?
I flipped through it. I haven't read it yet, but it looks really nice.
That's exciting.
So that's pretty exciting.
And talk about epic and not maybe that in scope, but the past couple of issues have been jam packed with characters. And,
so many characters.
But
it's not
ambitious,
overwhelming.
maybe.
I just flipped it through it. It looks like this is where they're resetting things. Like they reset Valkyrie, she gets a new costume and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you've, for a $3 comic, this is it really is. And no one really talks about it, It's really good.
This one would actually be a good one to jump in with.
Yes,
because
exactly.
They just ended kind of like a big milestone in the series. So this issue 7 is just kind of like ease you back into the next major story. So if you're interested in an all-female superhero comic,
that's a good one.
It's a good one.
We'll talk about another one in a minute, but that's a good one too.
Man, what a cool cover the next one's gonna be. Sorry.
Next up, we got FF, one of Matt's favorite comics.
Oh god, it's just good. It's so fun.
Yeah, the last issue with the pool party and everything was pretty cool.
It was so cool.
this one looks a little darker. We're gonna get into some of the slightly evil kids on the team,
Yeah.
so that should be cool. Then we got Indestructible Hulk, Agent of Time. This is gonna start tying into what happened at the end of Age of Ultron with time breaking. I
Really?
think Bruce Banner's gonna have to start try and figure out what exactly happened. So that could definitely be interesting. If you're interested in what happened at the end of Age of Ultron, you might want to try this one out. It's the beginning of a new story, obviously. Then we got Uncanny X-Men, starring Dazzler, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which should be pretty fun.
Just makes me so happy.
Poor little gold balls is about to be put under the scrutiny of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I thought we were done with him. But we are
Come on,
totally
sure.
not done with him. Like, he's going to be here.
Come on,
for a
his
while.
name is Gold
Yeah.
Balls. He's not going anywhere.
I thought like after the X-Men went to hell for like a day or whatever that was, he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I thought.
Well, that's where we're at. She shows up at his house.
It would have been, as a reader, I was like, it would have been so nice if they, like, if we really could just let this guy, you know, he
Well,
doesn't want to do it. But his parents suck, so
yeah, and clearly Bendis is having fun with him.
yeah,
Again, his name is Gold Balls. That's
that's
pretty
true.
awesome. And then speaking of all-female stories, we got the X-Men, starring 6 of the coolest X-Men who just happen to be women. So
Best way to put it.
That's the
Six-
way
that's-
you need to remember it.
that's what I'm always excited
Yeah.
about. It wasn't so much that it was all just women; it's 6 of my
It was
favorite
a
X-Men.
great team.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a great team, and the way that Wood's been writing them, it's like he's playing up all their individual strengths for each issue.
Yep. So we should get some more Sublime craziness with him and his weird sister, twin, whatever she is, that's possessed Karima, the Omega Sentinel.
Yep.
So that should be fun. And that's it for Marvel, except for maybe a few picks of the week, maybe 3.
Man, every one of our picks of the week is Marvel.
Yep.
Marvel's been putting out good stuff. It's hard
Yeah,
to.
there's your testament. We did not plan on this. This is just honestly our picks of the week, and all 3 of them are exciting.
Well, give Image a couple of months, and then we might have one where we have all 3
Yeah.
images.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure I'll pick a DC every once in a while.
Right.
but-
Well, yeah, we'll all pick a DC every once in a while.
Man, I'm excited. Let's talk about it.
Uncanny X-Force. This is probably my favorite cover to come from this series so far, and we were just talking about this earlier, but what the storyline that's going on right now with Psylocke and Cluster and Phantom X and Weapon 13 has been like the story that I've wanted to read, but not the story expected from X-Force. Like, I didn't expect
Right.
them to spend so much time on this weird love square triangle hexagon thing that they've been building up, but I mean, I find it incredibly enjoyable. I love Psylocke's character, and I've grown to like her even more. You know,
Right.
even though they've introduced like this darker element where she cusses and she's kind of bitter
And she's a thief.
and she's a thief.
Right.
But I'm excited about this issue, especially with recent romantic developments
Yeah, and
among the weird.
what an
writers.
asterisk that you have to put by romantic. There's some debate that we've already had about this that I'm sure you will have with others that read comic books. And if you'll like to, on the comments, debate this, we'll talk about it. My pick of the week, I'm excited about my pick of the week this week because I've never picked this series as my pick of the week. It is awesome. It's unfortunately the art is not from. I should say unfortunately, but Chris Samnee, who I think is doing awesome in the series, is Daredevil, or Here Comes Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. It's actually the full title, but it is Mark Waid's Daredevil, issue 29. Man, it's such a good story, and we're just getting off of a 3-year story arc. It was insane.
Like 2.5
Yeah.
something like that.
Ended with issue 27, a 27 issue story arc. That's
Something.
yeah, that's an undertaking. But it was awesome. So I mean, this is a pretty decent place to jump on. The great thing about Marvel is you always get your recap pages, and you're only 1 issue behind, and it's Daredevil kind of helping out a kid. We used to pick on him when he was in elementary school, but we also get to find out. My favorite thing about this was it depicts maybe Matt Murdock wasn't the easiest kid to be around. Like, he was a little bit of a d-bag, in elementary school, and that's why these kids picked on him. And it's pretty cool to see it at that angle, like because you always want to feel so bad for the blind kid raised by the deadbeat boxer, but he's like on top of the cafeteria table yelling, "My dad's gonna be the greatest boxer. We're gonna be millionaires." Like, shut up, kid. Hope you go blind.
And the kid that he's helping is the kid that actually named him Daredevil.
Yeah,
That's why when he came in, it was like, duh, I know you were Daredevil. I named you Daredevil.
Yeah. I do like how Wade depicts Matt Murdock as he's a really smart guy, but at the same time, when it comes to being a superhero, he's kind of a dumb guy. Like when it comes to the whole secret identity thing, like he screwed up on that, but yet he'll still argue tooth and nail, "I'm not Daredevil." He's obviously Daredevil.
Well, I'm sure he's relying so much on the fact that, well, obviously I'm blind. I couldn't possibly be Daredevil.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to put a lot of work into.
But I do like how finally, like the Marvel Universe, like just the normal people are like, "Yeah, we get that you're blind, but there's a guy swinging from webs, and there's like aliens and stuff. Like stranger things have happened, so we still suspect that you might be Daredevil."
Well, how could you expect that the idea that he lost his secret identity would not destroy the character? Mark Waid's done an awesome job.
Yeah.
It's just been like, whatever, that was the
Who
last
cares?
week's story.
Yeah,
Who cares anymore?
This is a new generation, and you gotta be, you just gotta go along with it, man. I loved it. It's a great series. I can't recommend it enough, and I can't wait for this issue.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of great places to start, this is Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. Again, spinning out of Age of Ultron is the second appearance of Angela in the Marvel Universe. Angela from Spawn.
So weird.
Basically taking Neil Gaiman's name off of it. He's still listed as a consultant, not actually writing it with Bendis like they were originally talking about. But I think that's just this issue. She's not in it a ton. It's kind of just like, well, there's Angela and Rocket and Iron Man are chasing after her, kind of. But it's really good. This is the only book I've read so far. The first book I wanted to read. So, I don't know. Sarah Pacheco's doing the art. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love both these series. X-Force I'm a little behind on, but it's good stuff. Just I'm behind on it because there's, and this is not a complaint, but there is 90 X-Men books coming out of Marvel right now.
I mean, just 4 this week?
Yeah.
The best part is they're all...
Yeah, they're all like hitting the mark, which is great. You can't really say that
It's
about...
a great time to be an X-Men fan.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a comic fan, period. And on that note, that might be a note that we want to end on. So, where are we located, Brian?
255 Ferris Road behind good old UCA.
Good old UCA, which...
Conway, Arkansas.
Hey, boys and girls, school's about to start.
Unless you're in summer school.
Unless you're in summer school, then, hey, boys and girls, go do your homework. Quit reading comic books, study harder.
What?
Oh, wait, I thought we were talking about high school, summer school. Never mind.
And James Reed Richards taught me everything I need to know about science. I don't need schooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably do.
Yeah. But...
At least high schooling.
yeah, you got through that. And you got through college.
Oh, I graduated.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, we're all college grads here. Still read comic books. So, from The Secret Life of Comic Books, I am Matt Wood.
I'm Mara Wood.
And I'm Brian Keown.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls. Have a wonderful weekend and enjoy your comics.